here we go.
Hello and welcome to the Boise State Esports Arena. We are here to continue our Fall Mountain West Rocket League season. The Boise State veteran roster remain undefeated going into this week, showing they haven't lost a step in their quest for another championship, but they face their greatest opponent in the Mountain West yet, the Grand Canyon University Lopes, a team that has also managed an undefeated streak coming into this week. For the cast and desk, my name is Eric Beltran, followed by Danner Hill and Danner. Undefeated versus undefeated, one team will have to go home with an L on their record.
That is the case tonight, but this isn't the only time the Broncos have been faced with this kind of situation. A couple weeks ago, they had to face Baylor, undefeated versus undefeated, and that one not going the way of the Broncos, but I'm sure tonight's going to be a different script.
And it's been a lot of fun looking through the Mountain West season, at least if you're a Bronco fan, because
Absolutely.
They've been dominating outright, but the Grand Canyon University Lopes also doing the same exact thing, coming off a doubleheader to win 6-0 in the season, outside of a match against San Diego State, which still has its results pending. And by the way, a quick shout out to head coach Matthew Calderwood, who goes by Coach Storm for the Lopes, their first full-time head coach that is also an alum of GCU. And I think that's very important to really shout out, because that means they're developing their program more and more. We're seeing, more investment into collegiate esports, which we are not lacking here at Boise State.
Absolutely not. And it's always amazing when you can see alumni that come back. Because, they go through the program, they go through their time in school, and they're like, all right, I love that so much, I'm going to come back. I want to go invest into this program and make sure that they continue to succeed.
All right, so how do you feel going forward? I mean, again, it was that doubleheader that we were talking about, 6-0. It's going to be a tough match to actually have to go through and try and take a win right then and right there. But hey, if you want to get a win, how do you do it? You do it with Doc's Keys to the Game, which are brought to you by Blue Ribbon Painting. With over 90 years of combined experience, they are proud to be Boise's go-to team of local multi-generational painters who know how to level up your home. Visit blueribbonpainting.com. Keys to the Game: create mistakes, punish the double commit, bump opponents to disrupt, and don't overstay. Danner, you're kind of the expert on this. What keys to the game do you got?
Pretty much everything that Doc says. I think any player should take to heart. He knows what he's talking about with all of these games. He knows how each game operates, how each game needs to be played at such a high level, and what you need to do to succeed.
All right, so getting our focus back onto the game that's coming ahead right now, 6-0 at least so far for Grand Canyon University. You know, a similar story here, undefeated with the Broncos. What do you think the mentality is coming in? Because you alluded to it a little bit earlier. You can get a bit overconfident, and sometimes that could lead to slip-ups or very tough matchups. I don't think you should underestimate Grand Canyon University by any regard.
Yeah, but that's not something I worry about here with the Boise State Broncos. I don't think they underestimate anybody. I think they go into each game with the mentality like, okay, it's a brand new opponent in front of us. It's a fresh slate scoreline. There is nothing ahead of us that is guaranteed. We need to fight for every win and every goal that we need to put on that board, and they sure do. They are the ones that fight for these wins and deservedly get them.
Yeah, and it's definitely shown, not just in Mountain West, but in the PEC as well. With the matchup that we just witnessed over in the PEC against University of Utah, where, you know, University of Utah were able to score in some goals here and there, but ultimately, not underestimating, still staying on their game were the Boise State Broncos, and showing that they're not going to allow hubris to be a factor.
Absolutely, and when the Broncos are ending each game with a 2+ goal lead, it's just showing how dominant they are and how comfortable they are with getting leads and holding them.
Yeah, and they do not let go once they get the momentum going, which is something that I think is another topic for the Broncos, momentum, because it felt like very early on in the season, maybe not in the Mountain West, but we saw it a little bit in the PEC, that momentum took a little bit of time to ramp up.
Yeah, and that's kind of what we were talking about in the earlier broadcast where we were talking about strength of schedule. I think that with momentum and tough teams, it's kind of harder to build because you're fighting – you know, some nail-biter games. That first week was against Syracuse, Game 5 nail-biter. Like, you're struggling in that one, and then you get to Game 5, you get the win ultimately. But it's just stuff like that that can slow you down.
So let's get through our roster. It's going to be Cade Hall, Emiliano Flores, Preston Ferrente, Gabriel Reynolds, and of course, Coach Wayton leading the Broncos on their charge. Very exciting roster that we've seen time and time again really show up here. We talked about it just a bit, about how much experience that this roster has. That means they've had a lot of time to work through different situations like were mentioned before, having their ups and downs, and even falling to different teams where they're able to overcome later on in the season. Of course, we'll see if that's going to be the case with Baylor, as we saw in the PEC. But here in the Mountain West, it's still a big deal to be going against an undefeated team.
Absolutely, and I think the Broncos, regardless of how this first game is going to go, they are one of the best teams that I personally have ever seen when it comes to adapting. After game one, that is your feel-around game. How are they going to play? What are they going to do? What are they going to do on the pitch that's going to make them stand out? And for the Broncos, they're able to see that and adapt to that in game two immediately. They have the tools and skills in their back pocket to be able to adapt to that and make sure that they don't either lose a second game or continue to win games.
And they do hold themselves with this sense of confidence. I've seen from a lot of their wins, especially Durtho, step up and just hype up the crowd, be excited, live in the moment, and take each opponent coming forward, you know, fully seriously. We've heard it in some of the post-game interviews as well. I do like the headspace that a lot of our players have.
Yeah, they're really confident about their individual play style and them as a team as well. I feel like with the seniority of this team, the veterancy between all three of them, they've been playing together for now 3 years total as a team, and I think that overall that accumulates into a lot of things, and for them that's just overall like building themselves as a team, as a family, and it can really lead to some of the best team chemistry you could see in collegiate esports.
Yeah, and that's something that not every team in collegiate really does have. Chemistry, ability to play together as a squad. I think we saw that with University of Utah. They were a team that, definitely some skilled players going through, taking some shots, but if you don't have that team connection, you can't take your team to the next level.
Yeah, it's one thing to be a team and to play at a high level. It's the next to be able to coordinate your plays efficiently to each other instead of having to rely on individual prowess.
Yeah, and that individual prowess, again, it can get you far, but it's always so different in a competitive environment. When you move on to the next level of competition, the next level of play, you have to be able to sync up. You have to be able to communicate with your players to set up, not just these defensive plays to block any goals coming your way, but in order to transition those into goals of your own, you don't just dribble the ball off of the air and look for the, the highlight reel play that you're going to throw on and have on your montage and whatnot. You've got to be able to sync it together and communicate with your teammates.
Yeah, it's a little different than a Saturday night queuing up comp with a couple of Red Bulls in the fridge. It's not quite the same. You got to be able to coordinate with your teammates left and right. You got to know what they are doing on the field and what you're contributing to the team at every moment. It comes with high-level comms and high-level coordination that these players have. They have had that for years now, and at this point, it's just showcasing that and fine-tuning.
So I want to ask you, just because you have experience coaching, how do you build that type of thing to get to a level where you can compete, such as we have with the Broncos?
It's a slow and steady start. You got to start off with, all right, let's just get the team together. Let's start them off with a game, and all of them individually should already have like the knowledge and the headspace of, all right, I'm playing at the highest level. I know what kind of comms I need to be saying, and it's just starting off at the baseline. And then from there, you can start to get a rhythm built. You can start to get rotations built on how you'd know each player is going to be playing and how they are with the ball. And then after that, you can start fiddling with your comms. Like if you want to make certain plays, you can have like funny names for that, or if you just want to have like just funny words where it's like, oh, I'm the only one on defense being like, I'm scared, help me, and just like stuff like that. And then everyone else is like, okay, cool, I need to rotate back in and help you.
Maybe a little bit of a side tangent, but what are some of the funny names that you've heard? Because, for me, I come from League of Legends and commentating that. I've heard some of the stuff the players will talk about. I remember when a player's up on his own just farming by himself, they'll call it oinking. So in Rocket League, what kind of stuff do we got there?
Oh, it's so wild because with Rocket League, it's such a fast-paced game. It's kind of hard to pinpoint on some of that stuff, but with some of the coaching that I've done, what's one of the funnier ones? I think one of my players just straight up yelled. He was just like screaming. He just was so scared on defense. It was like a 1v2, and he's like zero boost, jumping around, flailing. He was like, help me! And then the other two had to run back in and help him out, get some demos or clears, but it's those high-pressure situations because Rocket League is such a fast-paced game. There's not much time to really think. You have split-second decisions that you need to make at every moment, and it's hard to really think about what you're going to say in the moment.
So getting our conversation back onto the matchup that's going to be at hand.
Let's go back.
Grand Canyon University versus the Boise State Broncos. Undefeated versus undefeated. We had mentioned this before. It's something you can't underestimate even when you are the top dogs within the Mountain West region. What are some of the expectations coming into this game for the caliber of play that we're about to witness?
I think consistency. That's one thing I preach the most in either my coaching or just individually watching. It's consistency that I value the most out of gameplay. I don't care primarily about individual flashiness or like team plays or just anything crazy. Consistency is going to get you the furthest because being able to consistently make touches on the balls the way that you want to, consistently making passes to teammates, consistently making saves, that's going to get you more depth into your game than individual prowess or flipper sets or musties or whatever you can on the offensive side.
We saw no lack of musties, at least with the PEC game. That was disgusting.
That's when you know Boise State is comfortable, is when they start pulling stuff like that out. Because then you see Dirtho popping off, and you're like, oh, they're comfortable. They are not messing around.
Yeah, and it's always very hype to see the Broncos really firing on all cylinders. And they're getting ready to fire off right now as we're just about ready to hit the field between Boise State University, Grand Canyon University. A reminder to our audience, both of these teams undefeated as we head into the kickoff.
This one going quick. Nightmare Rally making a good 50. And a name that we're not quite familiar with, Decagon coming in play here for the side of GCU. Let's see what they can bring to the table here. Preston Out of the sidewall, trying to read out of the corner, try to get a teammate pass. No, Demo instead. Woozy with a quick shot. Dertho has to rally on this one. And he gets one touch, so at least get it to the side. Preston from the ceiling, looking for a pass to a teammate, but instead, Decagon is accidentally gonna own goal with that touch. And Preston is gonna be able to sink the first one for Boise State.
All right, that's a little bit of a heartbreaker for GCU. The Lopes accidentally scoring on themselves, but that's from a little bit of mispositioning, right? You're trying to chase the ball to make a defensive play to actually save it, and you slip up and accidentally own it.
It's just part of the game, though. I mean, one of Doc's keys of the game is score in the net, regardless of what side. So, I mean, they're taking that one to heart. Preston now trying to get an offense going for Boise State once again. They're just not letting up, especially from that Utah State or University of Utah game we saw earlier today. It was about the same start here in game one. Now Woozy to the backboard, looking for the double tap, and it's going to land! They're starting off strong. They're feeling good.
I always love it when you see those double taps coming right off the top. Woozy sets it up, gets right below Nando, who misreads it. That's going to get another point over to the Broncos as they head into the next kickoff. A solid lead now set up by the Broncos.
Nando sending that one long to the corner where Preston awaits. Now with Woozy in support, he's going to be trying to look for it. Rally just has to wait on the backboard here, try to get something going. Dertho gets that one to the mid, but no teammate there quite yet. Now Nando's turn. Control, but beat out by Preston fairly quickly. And I like what I'm seeing out of GCU. They have a lot of coordinations, kind of reminiscent of Boise State, but it's just not at that level quite yet. Boise State, they have players exactly where they need to be. GCU, they're making some passes, but not enough.
Oh, Nightmare Rally's going for a shot, though. Dertho is right there to block it out. Gets tipped once more towards the goal, but will not find the mark. Now Decagon at the back end, looking to recover, sends it over to Nando. Nando goes for the aerial, gets through one defender, tries to get through Woozy, but Woozy makes the save.
Now it's Decagon from the ceiling, getting beat out by Woozy. Great save. Dertho with the pre-jump, try to get that one. Preston's going to be a little bit faster, though, as Nando continuing control for Grand Canyon. Preston from the sidewall, able to just buy time. A couple of midfield fakes, and Decagon able to still make a touch. They're trying to get something going here, and this is the best offense that I've seen out of them quite yet out of this game. No pre-field there to keep it going. Nightmare Rally into the air, looking for something, but once again, Grand Canyon, they just can't really find anything on the offense.
Yeah, you can see how quick the Broncos are to get right into position and get that ball rolling into Grand Canyon University's territory. Now down on the opposite end, sends it over to Decagon, who is right in position to receive that pass and get a goal for GCU.
Preston, he was there to try to make the catch, but Decagon wasn't going to give him the respect for that touch, and instead just ego challenges it and racks it off the crossbar to cut the lead in half for Grand Canyon here. All they need is one with about half the game left to go.
All right, one up are the Broncos. Another shot coming in. Woozy going for the double tap once more. Nightmare Rally on the back end. Here comes Dertho. Doesn't read it correctly, but Preston will make it just in time. Now Woozy passes it over. Gets it over the top of Nando.
So
it's in! Woozy will score again!
I almost thought that initial touch, I'm like, oh, that's a long ball clear, bottom left corner, easy. Nope. Instead, it's going to go towards the opposite bottom right corner. And Woozy still going to be able to bring back that 2-goal lead here. A little over 2 minutes remaining. Boise State continuing their offense.
That's a good attempt.
Ooh, I like it.
GCU. And Preston will just get it right off the kickoff, Danner.
This is that high-level caliber play that we know out of them. It was a little bit of a Spanish kickoff. You see that first man fake it to leave it for Preston. Easy beat over two of them. Now all he has to do is play that 1v1, and he does it so perfectly.
All right, another kickoff. 3 points up is Boise State. Preston singing for the long haul. Decagon now on the chase. Woozy in the corner, looking to take it right over the top. Nando will take towards the skies. Dertho on the receiving end, though, looking for the block. Tries to read it and gets it beautifully for the save. Decagon will look to center it up once more, but not in position. Instead, Nando going to go for the long shot. Dertho finds the save. Into the corner it goes. Dertho looking for the pass over to Preston. Nightmare Rally will catch it in the air, but Woozy steals it away, sends it over to Preston. Nando in the corner, looks to receive the ball, tries to pinch it downwards. Dertho gonna go wayward on the receiving end. Now Decagon in position to go for the shot, goes a little bit too high, and Preston takes it away.
Next one to follow up is Nando from that sidewall, looking to get some sort of control on this. Quick shot high. Will get sent wide by Dirtho. Now it's a double tap on the sidewall from Woozy to follow up by Dirtho. Decagon gets bumped up with this ball, but has enough boost to follow up with the next 50 on to Preston. This one's kind of just hovering in that corner. They can't really get it out. Neither side of this pitch able to get something going here, but with a minute remaining and Boise State up by 3, this is pretty reminiscent of the game we saw earlier today where they build that lead and all they have to do is hold.
50 seconds left on the clock, and there's not much left to fight for. The longer this game goes, the less of a chance that you really have to make that comeback, and it's looking sealed right now. Nightmare Rally going for the aerial. Preston gets the block. Decagon on the opposite side for a pass to Nando. Nando does not have the ball on net. Instead goes over to the corner. Too much pressure coming out from the defenders. 30 seconds are left on the clock.
This one rolling just in front of Nando. Nobody was there in the defense for Boise State, and GCU are going to be able to take that one for free.
Yeah, easy shot coming in, sends it over just on the right side of the goal line. We'll tap it for that goal, making the differential now just 2 goals between these two teams. 2 goals with only 20 seconds left on this clock.
20 seconds left and plenty of opportunities to be had. Decagon from the ceiling, trying to get something going. Preston now catching, flipper set, leaves it for Dirtho, sends it high, and with time ticking down, surely this will be a Boise State Game 1 win to start off this best of 5.
Keep it in the air just a little bit longer, but finally the ball comes down. Nope, just over on the sidewall. Now one more tap over. Nando wants to try and change the result to just be a 1-point game, but Woozy will find that spike and close out game number 1 for Boise State.
And a great first game out of them. Once again, like I was talking about, it's that feeler game to see how Grand Canyon is going to be able to approach this, and we can see why GCU is also the other undefeated team here in the Mountain West.
That was a good fight coming out from GCU in this game number 1. But we want to give thanks to our sponsor, Dairy West. Today's stream is brought to you in part by local dairy farmers and the dairy protein they produce. Thanks to them, Boise State Esports has access to next-level fueling options that keeps our players playing at their peak. Unbottled dairy protein that powers your performance. Visit unbottled.com for more info. Game number 1 belonging to the Boise State Broncos. GCU, it was a good attempt by them. You can see, as you said earlier, why they're undefeated.
Absolutely. They put up a really good fight. But Boise State, their defense can really be locked down with mistake-free defense. And as they move on here, they can definitely take notes on what to improve upon and kind of tweak going into game 2 here, but I definitely think that their foundation for Grand Canyon is solid and that they can build upon that to try to get this game 2 just a little bit closer.
Yeah, 2-point differential between these two squads. Boise State University. We can hear the crowd in the background hyping up the Broncos and getting them ready for this game number 2.
Game number 2 now. Preston already getting a beat out. Nando with a great pre-jump. Woozy able to keep that one going, and a follow-up. Going to put Nightmare Rally in an awkward position. Still able to make do with that one. And now a quick shot on next. On net, Woozy with a quick carry. Trying to get something delayed here. It goes low. Leaves it for Preston now. Carried. Reset. On target, just a little wide though. Decagon able to get it sent out, and now Nando on the other end looking for the first goal for Grand Canyon. It is going to be saved out by Woozy. First 30 seconds are really back and forth.
Yeah, Woozy there going to be the wall to make sure no goal gets through from GCU side. Demo in the air. Woozy grabs it, but Nando sees a chance to go for the shot. Preston blocks it away, finds the save. Now we'll send it back over to GCU territory. Another demo coming in. Preston gets it onto Decagon. Now Woozy up into the corner, gets past one defender, passes it over, and Preston will score!
Yo, way to do him like that. Woozy, great control, gets around 1, gets around 2. Preston getting around the 3rd. Able to send that one to the right post, putting Boise State up by 1.
Great play. You can see the communication, the teamwork that comes out from the Broncos on full display. Demo comes in, Nando finds Dirtho, now Preston taking the aerial. Nando wants to get that goal. Nightmare Rally trying to run the interference on the backside, goes up to try and get the ball, but Woozy takes it over the top. Preston on the opposite end. Woozy sees a chance, gets blocked away. Dekugan is there to defend. Now Dirtho goes for the aerial, but Dekugan, being a menace, will not allow it to go forward. Still, though, the Broncos continue the stampede. Woozy on the opposite end, catches it in center field, goes for the aerial, but Nando will send it center field. Preston on the sidewall now. To reset, goes for the pass. No one on Broncos' side there to receive.
Playing this one out. Woozy taking his time. Trying to get that one maybe to the corner and maybe mid for teammate. Oh, he just barely missed that bump onto Dekugan. Now, quick shot on, a little counterattack at GCU. Preston with the diving save. Able to keep that one out. Boise State continue their lead. Dirtho now, plenty of control. Flip reset, landed, but a cut out by Nando. Great pre-jump out of him. Dirtho's going to still continue to try to reach for this ball. Now Dekugan's turn. A little bit of control here. It's going to get away from him. Just staying for the 50s. And a great demo out of Dirtho is going to open up some space.
Nightmare Rally trying to fight it out with Woozy, but the ball's not where you want to be if you're one of the Lopes. As Preston takes it over to the corner, Woozy keep it into that corner. Nando fighting for possession of the ball. You can see the challenge going neutral. Dekugan on the back, and Preston sees it open.
Oh wait, this is open!
It will take the shot! Not a miss in sight! As the Broncos will get their second goal.
I think this was a defensive mistake here. You can see Nightmare Rally. He was in position. All he had to do was rotate to that close post on the left side, and he would have been able to make the save, but he saw the boost instead. And that one let Boise State go up by 2.
Oh, nice attempt coming out from the Lopes. Not on net right now for Nightmare Rally. Nando on the opposite end, Dirtho fighting through. Dekugan collecting some boost on his way to defend. Getting past, Dirtho doesn't get his way, but Preston will. Centering up the ball, Nando is there to receive it, but Woozy quick on the action to find defense. Now Dirtho going for a shot, Dekugan will knock it center field. Preston into the corner, the ball goes. Nightmare Rally looking for the chase, but Dirtho is there to look for the slam.
Oh, do it.
Naked Man goes for the flip reset, but doesn't get it in. Dekugan goes for the save, a shot comes in, double commit. Preston will find that save, will find save number 2, and the Broncos rally.
Dirtho with an incredible pre-jump is going to leave it for Woozy with about 20 boost left to his name, able to make another 50. Preston trying to play a slow ball here, keep control close to him. Nightmare Rally using all of his boost to reach for this ball. Dirtho with an easy clear and an easy carry over another. Now it's Woozy's turn, into the air, flip reset, low, lays it out, leaves it for Preston. Boise State, I think they're looking really comfortable here going into about the last minute of this game 2. They're going to look to try to go for that match point.
Dekugan gets stolen away. Preston's there, but so is Nightmare Rally. The back pocket's Dirtho. 1 minute remains now on the clock as the ball goes into the corner. Nightmare Rally looking to loop around, but there's Woozy. Doesn't get it where he needs it. Dekugan finds that save. Now Nightmare Rally getting bumped out of position. Can't continue with the shot he was going for, but Preston now has his opportunity. Dekugan looking to get in position in time, and Nando will be the one to pop it away.
Nando now with the follow-up 50 onto Dirtho. Dekugan lurking in the midfield, waiting for one. And it's Dirtho just to try to buy time for a teammate here, and it's going to be for Preston. Sending that one to the corner. Nightmare Rally, easy clear for him, but it's going to be into the hands of Woozy from the ceiling. Going to be able to try to get that one on target. But it's going to stay high, and Preston just looking for control. He knows he has 20 seconds before he goes into match point. With the 2-goal lead, they don't need to overcommit or try to risk anything here.
Do you like this defense coming out? This game number 2 for the Lopes. Sadly enough, the offense has not been found as they still remain scoreless with 4 seconds left on the clock. It's another Boise State win in game number 2. You just need the ball to land on the ground. Looking to try and close this one out. Finally falls as Boise State will go 2 up in the series.
Now that's a much closer game out of the side of Grand Canyon, only keeping Boise State to 2 goals, but that's still not enough. I see a lot of opportunities and strong starts to them early, but they just have to keep it going.
So shout out to our sponsors, Extended Studies from Boise State University. Get your degree on schedule that works for you. Boise State Extended Studies offers a variety of fully online courses and degrees to help you get your degree on your schedule. Visit boisestate.edu/extended studies for more details. Now, to really talk about that game, I felt like we did see better defense out of GCU. Obviously, 2 goals. Less than 4 goals.
Yes.
Basic math coming out right there. But they could not get the offense online.
No, honestly, they couldn't. I mean, I saw some good moments early on in the game, but as time kept ticking on, Boise State just kept chipping away at them on the defense, and it's not much you can do after that, because once Boise State gets that momentum and gets their offense rolling, it's hard to get out of it because they're boost-starving you, they're bumping you, they're getting you out of the way, and most of the time, they're scoring.
So what could be the final game right now, match point for the Broncos. We said it at the start of the day. One of these teams will go home with a loss on their record, and the Broncos are looking to deliver that to GCU.
They're also looking to continue their streak in the Mountain West, looking to continue getting those Mountain West wins and maybe just another championship. Woozy just wide on starting off this game strong. Preston now with a quick carry into the midfield, met by Nando. Durtho to the backboard, met by Rally, but GCU already struggling in the boost department. They need to get something going and get that ball out of their half.
Yeah, Preston's right there as he sends the ball up right above the goal of GCU. Now Durtho going up high to the sky, will take the shot. Nightmare Rally will be able to receive it. Preston goes for a shot, but Dekugan on the opposite end gets the defense going. Durtho looks to steal the ball away as it goes towards center field. Nightmare Rally on the opposite end looking to go on to defense because he needs to act fast or that ball's going in. He gets a demo onto Preston, and Nando now pitching the ball once more, but can't find any way forward. The pass to Uzi is wide.
I saw the vision right there. That's classic Boise State right there. Their chemistry is what we were talking about just a moment ago. They're the ones that are deadly on offense between the three of them. It's not individually, it's all together. Preston with a good clear to the corner. He's going to leave it for Woozy with a Voltic boost. That one actually trickling towards target. Durtho making a good save and getting over another. Maybe looking for a bumper demo. Instead, it's going to be Dekugan from the ceiling. Not able to do much before they have to rush back onto defense.
A lot of roughhousing coming out from the Broncos, knocking the momentum out of the hands of GCU whenever they do go on its offense. Getting past Durtho, Preston gets the interception. Nightmare Rally on the opposite end, into the corner it goes, now falling into position, but Woozy knocks it just a touch higher. Durtho looking to lead the ball. Goes for the pass. It's found by Preston. He is unleashed, and I'm going to say that was your unbottled play of the game, presented by local dairy farms and families. Perform, refuel, recover, repeat. Visit unbottled.com to learn more.
Here's the thing. I knew that was going in. As soon as they got control of that ball, I'm like looking at myself, all right, 1v1 situation, early flick, already has a man in support, it's going in.
And the demo found by Nightmare Rally onto Woozy. Preston on the aerial, looks to take the ball back down to earth. It bounces into the corner. Deep in Bronco territory. Woozy
that's a good demo. That's a great demo.
With the demo to allow no response for this goal.
That's just the lurking, disruptive mentality that Boise State have. Getting rid of that third man, opening it up. All you need is a clear down to that lurking man, that menace in the backfield, and you're gonna go up 2-0 with over 2 minutes played in the game.
Woozy was soaking it in right there. Definitely enjoyed that shot, that demo, the whole shebang. As now, next offense comes in from the loops. Preston on the aerial towards center field. Nightmare Rally's there to try and interfere, but look at Preston go. Needs another defender, Dekugan, in order to get possession of the ball. Nando sends it over to Bronco territory. Now Dekugan looking to follow through, goes from the aerial pass over the top. Nightmare Rally doesn't receive the ball on the opposite end. Now Durtho looking to get through 3 defenders over the top. Nando is there, passes to Woozy. Woozy seizes the opportunity for 3-0 Broncos.
I feel like I have like future sight because I'm seeing the ball, I'm seeing it float, and I see the Bronco players be in perfect position to get these goals, and I'm thinking to myself, how can that not go in? Like, what's going to be able to stop this?
My boy was gliding over the top and nothing could stop him. Now Nando seeing a chance, a great block coming out from Woozy. And is this going to be a scoreless game? This has got to hurt right now. You still got 2 seconds on the clock for the Lopes to try and find a counterattack.
Not that much time to go, and with an 0-3 deficit, Woozy already playing under you, and now Dirtho being able to take that one to the mid with some control. Woozy, all he can do is play with 150, no boost in the tank. Nando, if he's able to get a touch on that one, that might be an opportunity for GCU, but not quite. Preston pre-jumping that touch, and Dirtho pre-jumping the next. You can see Boise State, they're getting real comfortable with their play style, and with the last minute and a half trickling down in this game, they are looking like winners.
The contest out of Dirtho says, give me that damn ball. Able to take it into the corner, even challenges Nando on top of it. As the bump comes through, Dirtho still not letting that momentum slide. Woozy up into the air, a chance for the Lopes to score. Dekugan goes wide, and it all goes awry as Dirtho knocks it back into GCU territory and goes for the long goal. Woozy gonna lead it in. Maybe a little bit too much arrogance right there, but man, you can't help but to style when you're this good.
Oh, when you're just sitting there, you're thinking, I have this in the bag. I can do whatever I want. And, oh, could be the bait. Oh, but not quite. I mean, GCU, they couldn't quite capitalize on that one. Broncos still stay with a goose egg here. Preston just making the next 50. It's undeniable at this point. 3-0 with 30 seconds left. You need a goal every 10 seconds for Grand Canyon to have an opportunity here, and they need to send the house if they want to have that.
Yeah, they've gone goalless all game. They've been so close, not from a lack of trying, and they're still trying, man. But the thing is, the Broncos aren't allowing any opportunity to slide through. Woozy right there on the defense. Now Woozy switching that to offense on the rotation. In the corner, the ball goes. Looking for an open net. Finally, GCU want to be on the board, and they will score. There's a 2-point differential, and even with that goal, it's only for morale.
It is, and at that point, the morale was just a little bit too late because that's their first goal in almost 10 minutes of gameplay. They couldn't quite get the number on Boise State, but on the other end, Boise State had every number onto this team. And to answer our question at the beginning of this broadcast, who's going to go home with the loss? It's going to be GCU.
A great game played by Boise State University, ending this game number 3, 3-1, and ending this series 3-0. And what can you really say? It was great team play. It was great mechanics coming out from Boise State University. Again, not from a lack of effort from the Lopes. They definitely put their all in. You can see where the potential is. You can see how they got this win-loss that they have currently, but just not enough to match the Broncos.
Yeah, and that's kind of one of those things. The Broncos, they're on top of this conference for a reason. They're the 3-time Mountain West champions for a reason.
What can you do to stop them, man? Who is going to stand in their way in the Mountain West? If not a team 6-0, then who, Danner?
It's got to be some sort of underdog that's going to come out in playoffs and say, hey, we're here.
Well, the Broncos are here to stay, to say the least. So off of that note, we are going to take a moment to throw it over to our top 5 players of the game, and then we'll have an interview with one of the Broncos afterwards. So stay tuned. We'll be right back with more.
you what I got.
With the Dairy West Fueling Station, we really wanted to create a place that our players could come and be fueled and hydrated in a healthy way, fuel their minds, fuel their bodies so they can compete at the highest level. Dairy West has really allowed us to do that, and we're excited to see what this space turns into. This is only phase one. There's many iterations to come. It's truly unique in college esports, and we're excited to see how that continues to evolve. We're really thankful for Dairy West's support and look forward to continue working with them.
Let me show you what I got. Hey, oh my.
Scott Matlock, underrated recruit, has built himself into one of the best defensive players in the Mountain West.
What would you do if you couldn't fail? Would you see every setback as a catalyst to keep going? This is the innovator's mindset, because innovation demands daring. It's finding thousands of ways that don't work, and the one that changes everything. It's when your unrelenting spirit sees the world's needs and says, I will create something better. So, what will you do? Will you let your genius run wild? Give yourself the space to be great. Set your sights on something even bigger, because we know changing the world doesn't happen by chance. It comes out of the blue.
It's the end of a good day's work in Idaho. Time to punch out. Time to check in and catch up. Time to remind ourselves that what we work for isn't a paycheck. It's to make the good things we have even better. So here's to your good day's work. Idaho Central Credit Union. We believe money is a thing. It's not everything.
My friends know me as Derek, but I'm also Master Sergeant Raxter. This is my life in the Air National Guard.
Welcome back to the Boise State Esports Arena. It's been a great day so far, both with PEC versus University of Utah. Following that up with Grand Canyon University. Back-to-back wins for the Broncos. I am joined here by Durtho, ready for a post-game interview. And let's just get to business right now, Durtho. I mean, looking into this game, Grand Canyon University, they were 6-0. Coming into this week, so they look like they could potentially be a tough opponent. When you do see someone of that caliber coming forward, what's the vibes like? What's the game plan? Do you feel any worry whatsoever, or are you that confident in your own play?
I mean, Grand Canyon University is really good. Not only a great school, but they're a great program as well, with 3 great players. 2 of them I didn't recognize, but they played really, really well. Just communicating with my teammates and trying to figure out the best way to counteract their offense and also be a strong force of defense.
So who's the one you do recognize, if you don't mind elaborating on that?
That would be Nando. I think Nando's been around for a while. He's a really good player, and we've played against him on LAN, and he's always performed really well.
Yeah, it's always good when you can see a lot of these faces time and time again
Yeah.
you get to compete against. Well, off of that, I want to know, what is the confidence for the Broncos? I know a few weeks back we had the Baylor match in the PEC. That was the only loss you guys have suffered thus far, and now you guys have been rebounding incredibly well, both in the Mountain West, continuing your undefeated streak, and in the PEC, winning the following games after that match. How are things feeling, man?
I mean, we feel good. Baylor's a great program, and they have 3 phenomenal players, especially 2 high-level pro players. But I would say, looking forward is just not anybody in particular, but just the next match and just preparing for that.
Well, I mean, the next match, that kind of begs the question, man. Is there anyone left? Is there anyone you're really looking forward to going against, whether it be the Mountain West or the PEC?
To be honest, I think our main focus, there's not anybody in particular, right?
Mhm.
Doc says it best, is our greatest rival is ourselves, So if you can't disrespect anybody and put them at a lower tier of how important the match is or who's more important and what's a rival, because your rival is yourself at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's one of the things we talked about on the casting desk. Is it really comes down to, on paper, you should beat certain teams, but will you beat those teams? You never really know, and sometimes hubris can play a factor. So how do you guys keep yourselves locked in to make sure it doesn't become a thing of arrogance and remains just confidence?
I would say just always respecting our opponents.
Yeah.
As soon as you start disrespecting your opponent, then that's when you lose sight of pretty much being able to win, I would say, if that makes any sense. Just, respecting your opponent and understanding that they're putting their 110% and you got to come back with 120.
That's good, man. Off of that note, do you have any goals for this year, this season, in Rocket League? What do you want to accomplish?
As a team, I would say, we just want to do our best, and finish out strong in PEC and finish strong in Mountain West and hopefully get another ring. And just grind, hit the whiteboard, get into our coaching sessions with our coach Wayton, and just be the best version of ourselves.
Yeah. So you want to fill out every finger you can with championship rings, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
So I do want to let you go now so you can go ahead and maybe enjoy some of the food that was left by our sponsors.
Mm-hmm.
But before we do you have any shout-outs you want to give?
Shout out my girlfriend, Callie. I love her so much.
Love to hear it. Always love the support, man. Well, thank you so much for showing up for this interview. I want to wish you the best of luck on the rest of the season.
Thank you so much.
Off of that note, we are going to close out the broadcast. So thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you next week for more Bronco Rocket League.